Now that was a busy day. We didn't get any of the trim done, but all the metal is up and it looks really good. We only had one small issue the entire time. I stripped a single screw. The good news is that it's up under the main building soffit, so it's not gonna get a lot of direct water. Still, I need to kind of research what to do with a stripped screw on a metal roof. I don't know how it got stripped. The only thing I can think of is that I happened to go between two zip panels, just unluckily. That's all I can think of. Yeah, I'll research that and figure out the best course of action. We did an inch overhang over the gutter edge here, and that's just to make sure that the water doesn't wick back. All the seams are just perfect. You can't even tell that there's an overlap. We really took a lot of time to make sure everything looks really good. I mean, none of the seams are sticking up. Everything is so nice and snug the whole way. It's really, really nice looking. I compare that to the job that they did up there, where nothing is overlapped nice. You know, when you look at it in one direction, it's fine because the seams are hidden. The moment you look at it in another direction, it's just terrible. They're all janked up, and I swear to God, I will regret hiring people to do that roof for the rest of my life. But that's the decision we made. Certainly can't undo it. Pre-drilling turned out pretty well. On occasion, we had to adjust a panel up or down in order to maintain the inch gap here off the edge. And in doing so, a couple of the screws lines are a little slightly janked, but nothing anyone will ever notice unless they're standing right here. And that's not gonna happen often. So we're pretty pleased with the end result. Wow, I think today is better than yesterday, weather-wise. It's not quite as warm, or maybe similar, I guess, but there's something about today that just feels right. Maybe it's the metal on the roof. Maybe that's why. So the first thing I'm working on is this corner up here where the gable end trim, or rake trim, whatever you want to call it, meets that corner. So this is what it looks like. This goes up the side of the roof like that, where that's the top, and it trims out perfectly straight on the back side of it. That's a 412 angle there. Yeah, the old Stanley T-bevel, the number 18, seems to work perfectly for setting these angles for us. So that's really nice. And then just a standard carpenter pencil works really well on this. So yeah, this edge is not super complicated. The next one is a little more complicated, and that's the one that goes on top of the roof and then connects to this corner piece. So before I move on to that, I'm going to do the exact same thing for the west side of the roof. This is east side. I'll do the same sort of cut for the west side, ignore the scribbles from yesterday, and then I'll move to those little pieces on the top. So this is that corner piece, and it looks quite bizarre. but it is what I intended. This is the rake trim. So this part is on the roof, this part is on the fascia, and then this guy slides into the edge there and over that. So it fits just like that to make a corner. So they all kind of overlap pretty nicely. The thing that I kind of screwed up is my 45 was perfect, and then I widened it a bit, and clearly it's not a perfect 45 anymore. Granted, it's on the far corner, it's way up the roof, so no one will notice. And then this leftover bit here, the 6 inches there, will slide under the wall flashing. And then this guy will go back onto the sidewall, or to the end wall actually, and kind of secure there. All right, this is what it looks like. So we put some foam in there that will block insects from making their way up. Overly caulked the top of it. I had it pumping out too quickly. Caulked along the 45 there and tried to fill in that little hole. So let me fit this guy in and I'll show you what it looks like. Nice. So clearly I have some extra caulk there to wipe off. I'm not going to be securing down here yet. We have fascia trim that needs to slide underneath it. So for now I'm just going to leave that nice and loose. And instead I'm going to screw it right here to pin that corner. I think that'll be a 2-inch screw, and then I'll put one right here on this rib. That'll be another 2-inch. All right, and with the 2 screws in there, this one on the rib, and then this guy here, and the caulk is kind of smoothed out. So it's got a slight little dimple here with the foam underneath, but I think that's okay. I'd love it to have been completely flat, but in order to get these screws, the washers to sink to the right depth, I had to tighten it up, and in doing so, bow it a little bit with the foam. I guess the secret is use less foam, but I don't know if that's realistic either. Corner detail turned out nice. I like this. And the caulk line looks nice and smooth. So I'm gonna call that a success for a corner. Now we just have to do the exact same thing, the rake trim and the corner trim on the other side. Up on the roof today, starting the work for the wall detail here. So we snapped a couple chalk lines, and then I walked by and put some form-fitting foam here. It goes all the way across. And then up against the wall here, I put a ventilated furring strip. This is a cold roof, and the air that comes off the cold roof will actually go between the zip and the siding once that's all sorted, and eventually end up in the soffit here. It's not a lot of ventilation, but hopefully we're going to be sealing this roof so thoroughly with, well, nicely taped zip and post-cell foam that there is very little chance for moisture and air to get into this cold roof. Definitely done on the roof today. It doesn't take much for a metal roof to get very slippery. A little tiny bit of sand, a little tiny bit of water is really all that seems to take. And I've got pretty good shoes for this, so hey, we got that detail on there. All we'll have to do is caulk on top of the foam, slap the flashing on, and start screwing it into both the wall and the roof itself.